to you, our viewer. It is on 22nd of January 2026, being on a Thursday. Hoping that you are doing great wherever you are. This is your favorite show, Morning Zoo, where we get to review on our newspapers, that is
The Standard, Daily Nation, and the Taifa Leo.
Absolutely, and remember you can talk to us through our social media platform, that is Facebook,
Kings TV,
YouTube,
Kings
and
Fraternity,
TikTok,
Kings TV _13.
And today we will be focusing on the Daily Nation, the Standard, and Taifa Leo, as you said earlier.
Yeah.
And good morning, by the way.
Good morning.
We've never met since the year started. You know, the Kikuyu say, the Kikuyu are told that they say Happy New Year till the month of April.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And welcome to this, your favorite show, Morning Zoo, which begins right now. My name is Pius Kariuki.
And my good name is Hortensia Mbeu.
Absolutely. And now as we begin, Hortensia, I'll be having the Standard. The Standard, they're focusing on the security. They're saying presiding over rogues. And you can see the picture of Interior Cabinet Secretary, that is Murkomen, and some of the officers. We shall be tackling that in the Standard.
And for me, I have the Daily Nation, and this is talking about why the US is probing this man. Wow, very interesting.
Absolutely. And let's begin with that story about that man.
So, as you can see in our cover page, it's talking about Dr. Abdullahi.
And they are saying Abdullahi is the founder of Gateway in USA. Maybe you can just read on that cover page before we illustrate to our viewer.
So it says, a University of Nairobi alumnus was born in Somalia, grew up in Kenya's Adapt Refuge camp, and later obtained United States citizenship, is facing a US-Kenya of representative problem over alleged fraud. Dr. Abdullahi Ali is the founder of Gateway Community Services, a healthcare firm based in U.S. states of Maine. That was last month suspended from receiving government funding pending investigations.
And they are saying, why is US probing this matter? You know, when they talk of probing, it's investigating. Maybe he's having a case, he's being investigated. And just to look at who is Abdullahi, as I said, Ali is the founder of Gateway, a community service in Maine, USA. His background, he was born in Somalia, raised in Kenya, Dadaab refugee camp, and studied in University of Nairobi. Later became a US citizen. His issue, his healthcare firm is under investigation by the US House of Representation for alleged fraud. The impact, a Gateway Community Service has been suspended from receiving government funding pending the probe. Now, this case, Hortensia, is touching on immigration, refugee success stories, and accountability in diaspora-led institution. We shall be following that story as the investigation is undergoing. Absolutely. And when I come to the Standard, they are talking of presiding over rogues. And today, this story is bringing us to our question today. We are asking, why are these police officers shooting? Is it because they have anger issues? You know, we have seen most of the places, the police officers, they're harassing Kenyans, they are just shooting the way they want. And that is our question today, this morning. You can talk to us through our social media, Facebook.
That is Kings TV,
YouTube,
Kings Fraternity,
and TikTok,
Kings TV _13.
Tell us, what are your views concerning the shooting of the policemen? They are shooting recklessly and they are harassing the Kenyans. And you can see that is discussed on the Standard. They are saying presiding over rogues. Police violence in Kenya is no longer about rogue officers. Its systematic impunity runs deep. Leaders are puppets of the executive. Suspects in murderers are openly contemptuous of the law. When junior officers unleash brutality on ordinary Kenyans, lethal force, impunity, and silence have become routine. Innocent civilians are shot, beaten, or killed in custody. Investigations crawl, and accountability is a distant promise. From Karatina to Mathare, Nandi Hills to Githurai, every day fuels fear and mistrust. And we experienced that last year. We remember the case of Ojwang.
Yeah.
Most of those people who are killed inside the police custody. And now this year we have experienced some of the pictures and some of the videos that are trolling on the social media. Like in Nandi Hills, we saw some of the policemen went into the pool table. Kule ambako wanachezea pool, I don't know how it is called, and they were just beating those people recklessly, like their children. I don't know what is your view on that.
My view on that, that is a wrong thing. Because all of us Kenyans, we have rights.
Right, yeah.
Because that is not a bad thing. Because they were just enjoying themselves.
Sure.
Yeah. So they did the wrong thing.
And maybe, yes, you can have that video. Our producer will give us that video. We see how Nandi Hills, because it has been mentioned here on the standard, of how they were doing in Nandi Hills. Take a look. All right. Now moving out of Nandi Hills, there is another case that have come up in Karatina, Nyeri County. We have seen that CCTV footage trolling all over the social media. A man was just in his business, and then 2 police officers came and just shot him 4 bullets, just like that. That's why we are saying, why are these police officers so reckless in shooting, and harassing Kenyans with nothing? And when you see that, the executive, they are not talking. The cabinet secretary for the interior, the cabinet secretary of interior, Kipchumba Murkomen, he has not yet talked of anything.
So, on my side, sometimes we can judge even the police, but ask yourself, why choose him among others? So sometimes investigation must be done so that we can know if this man maybe he did the wrong thing and we don't know. So we are judging the police for no reason.
But many people are saying the problem is from the executive, starting with the president, coming to the cabinet. The Ministry of Interior, they are not doing their work, and the standard they are saying, number of civilians who have been killed by police officers in January alone, they are 7. And 104 deaths said to have been attributed to police through shooting of protesters or unarmed civilians, and 60 numbers of youths who were killed during the anti-tax demonstrations. Police often appear in the dock, but few end up in jail. Now, the problem starts from the top. As I said, the cabinet secretary interior was captured by the media saying he will defend any officer who shoots a Kenyan. That was last year. I don't know if you can remember when Kipchumba Murkomen gave the police officers the order to shoot. Even the president said wapigwe risasi ya mguu. Alright, the DCI under the leadership of Mohamed Amin has been implicated in many cases of kidnapping, brutality and death of Kenyans. These are officers who have seen their bosses get away with murder, literally, so they are emboldened and they know nothing will happen to them. As I said, the problem begins from the executive. And just to tackle on that, the article accuses top government officials, as I said earlier, especially in the Interior Ministry, of turning a blind eye or even defending police killings. Now, junior officers emboldened by this impunity unleashed lethal force on civilians, especially during a protest. The quote from Abdi Hussain, human rights lawyer: "The problem starts from the top. They know nothing will be investigated." All right. Give us your views concerning that. And we had asked you earlier, what are your views concerning this story? Police officers, they are just shooting recklessly, and they are showing their anger issues. Or they are under pressure. Tell us your views. We shall be reading your comments as we end this show through our social media platform, that is Facebook, Kings TV, YouTube,
Kings Fraternity,
TikTok,
Kings TV _13.
Right. I don't know on your side if you have another story before we proceed.
Yeah. On our that is Daily
Nation.
Daily
There was that story about President William Ruto.
Yeah. It says, great to see you, present with presidential brother at State House. Yeah.
That has, by the way, that it has raised concerns on social media. You know, Muhoroni, that person who made President William Ruto, Muhoroni Kenyatta is the brother to the former president Uhuru Kenyatta. And you know, Uhuru Kenyatta and President William Ruto ni mafuta na maji. They hawasikizani.
Yeah.
So when they saw the brother to Uhuru Kenyatta with President William Ruto, that it is sparkling some of the quotes. You know, we don't know what is happening. We don't know what is going on.
What is planned.
What is planned. But again, let us look on what they are saying concerning that story. They are saying President William Ruto who made President William Ruto who made Muhoroni. President William Ruto shares a light moment with the chair of the African region and trustee of the Duke of the Eden Bank International, Uhuru Kenyatta, during the Gold Award presentation at State House, Nairobi yesterday. President Ruto said the government is proud of 1,252 young people awarded the Gold Prize. I think it was a ceremony of awarding those people who won the grand prize. But again, the main issue, you know, Kenyans like focusing on something that is unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yes, people can have differences, but again, when it comes to working, you put your differences aside and you work.
True.
And also, they are continuing to say, hey, I'm looking on that story. They are saying it is concerning Uhuru Kenyatta. I'm trying to look on that story. Yes, I think it's that way. We have nothing to add. We have nothing to minus. We shall continue to update you on what will be happening. But they're saying, great to see you present with his predecessor brother at State House. The figures we see: President William Ruto, Muhoro Kenyatta, brother to former Uhuru Kenyatta, and now the role. Muhoro is the chair of the Africa region and trustee of the Duke of Edinburgh International Award Foundation. The meeting signals cordial relations between the current and former ruling families, possibly is in political attention. Right. On that note, on the Daily Nation, they are also focusing on that officer. You see the officer who was killed in State House.
Yeah.
If you can just read on that quote. They're saying on the morning of October 14th last year.
Okay. The morning of
14th last year, an assistant killed a GSU police outside the State House. Kithuka Musimi was promptly arrested, but he is yet to answer to the murder charge. 3 months later, prison officials accuses KNH of ignoring calls to submit a crucial medical report. This was just the GSU officer who was killed in State House. And you know, he was an officer who was like a security man. A man just came from nowhere and killed him. And now the case is ongoing, and we shall be looking on that on page 3 on the Daily Nation. And again, to give you the details on that, they are saying, incident, it took place in a State House employee was murdered, sparking a high-level investigation. Now still emerging, but the case is being treated as sensitive and politically significant. Now it raises questions about security and internal affairs at the highest levels of government. Now, do you think this government is really working on those murder cases? You know, there are so many things that are coming. We see many cases are going on court, but again, we don't see the solution.
Yeah. As for me, I think there's nothing like these people. Sometimes it's like planned, and these days money talks. Yeah. All right, absolutely. Thank you. Just to remind you, tell us your views concerning our question today, and you are asking, why do you think the police officers are so brutal? Why do you think the police officers are shooting recklessly? Do they have anger issues? Are they not paid? You know, we have seen a lot during even last year during the protest. We've seen police officers, they're just shooting. The leader, the executive gave them orders to shoot, and Murkomen said, shoot them. He backed up the police officers. Tell us your views concerning that. Why are police officers shooting recklessly? Are they having anger issues? Talk to us through our social media platforms, that is Facebook, Kings TV,
YouTube,
Kings Fraternity,
and TikTok,
Kings TV _13.
As we continue again, we are looking on the IEBC that is struggling financially ahead of 2027. I guess it was in your magazine, The Daily Nation, where they're saying IEBC is struggling financially ahead of 2027. Oh, that was on Taifa Leo, sorry. Yes. They are saying IEBC asota. Anasema IEBC imesota jamani. Madeni haya yamekuwa yakiongezeka kwa muda na yataathiri shughuli za tume kuendelea uchaguzi mkuu wa mwaka 2027. Stakabadhi bungeni zaonyesha huenda tume ya uchaguzi ikashindwa kutekeleza majukumu kuelekea kura za mwaka 2027. Kwa hivyo wanasema huru ya uchaguzi na mipaka IEBC imeonya kuwa pengo la shilingi bilioni 13 katika bajeti ya uchaguzi mkuu wa 2027 au mwaka 2027 itaathiri pakubwa maandalizi yake kulingana na stakabadhi zilizowasilishwa katika bunge la kitaifa. I don't know what is your view on that. They are starting to complain right now, and you know we have like less than a year, or we have like 2 years for election.
It's 1 year.
Actually, it's 1 year. For us to vote again, and they're starting to complain that imesota.
Imesota, pesa zimeenda wapi?
And you can see the government is using money to do affordable housing. You know,
true.
Is doing
to make roads. You know, sometimes I sit down and ask myself, okay. Our government, they always complain that there's no money, billions of money are lost, zinapotea zikienda wapi? Zikienda kwa bank zao, si ndio? Okay, we have, sometimes they say kuna medicines of HIV, they are not enough, but when you sit down, remember when you're buying something, there's a task. Hizo pesa zinaendanga kwa government. Mbona hawezi chukua hizo pesa and do some value things, you know? Yeah, because instead of building those houses, buy medicine for the sick, make houses for the streets, you know, make jobs for the youth so that they can stop killing each other using drugs.
And then they're saying election at the heartbeat of democracy.
True.
If IEBC lacks funds, voter registration, polling logistics, and transparency may suffer. Now, youth and civic group should be alert. Budget gaps can weaken trust in electoral fairness. Faith Angles calls for prayer and advocacy. Wanahitaji maombi. Even though wanasema they just need prayers and advocacy for just governance and stewardship of public funds. Tukiwa tu kwenye gazeti la Taifa Leo, anasema ni siku ya 35 ya mgomo hospitalini. Another case.
every
doctors
time,
are
every
striking.
but remember, even me as if I become, or maybe if I was a doctor, remember you chose that course. One thing because you love it, and another thing you can't be working as a slave. Because you're doing that job so that you can make your family and maybe the people who are looking upon you to stay with. Right?
I also I wonder with the government, you employ people, you will not pay them. How do you expect them to survive? Yet they are working for you. They're ensuring the hospital program is running the way you want. But again, when it comes to pay the jamani, serikali tujaribu pale. We don't know. You know, every year we see these people on road striking. Hamjawahi sikia kilio chao jamani. I don't know what you will add on that and tell the government.
For me, what I could like to tell the government, remember these doctors are the people who are saving our lives.
Yeah, sure.
Without a doctor, without the knowledge of a doctor, most of us we can't know which diseases we are suffering from, right? And remember, there's one word I heard from someone. Most of the patients see doctors like slaves, you know, but they're not slaves. Those doctors are, you know, they help us. So the government, please just listen to the cry of those doctors. Just pay them because you guys needed to employ them.
And I remember the case of some of the doctors, the intern doctors who killed themselves because of depression, because of stress, you know. Even if they are not being paid, it also affects their health issues. Most of them end up killing themselves. Most of them ends up murdering themselves and doing the suicide. So the government kindly call upon you and look into that issues. Wanasema siku ya 35 ya mgomo hospitalini, wagonjwa watamauka baada ya mgomo wa madaktari kaunti ya Nairobi kuingia siku ya 35. You can imagine from day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5 up to day 35. Nobody is
talking about those doctors or even caring about the doctors.
And that's why we ask, how do you expect them to survive? Please, let's come and help them. Now the same doctors in Nairobi County have been on strike for over a month, and especially the poor and vulnerable, the patients are suffering. And why does it matter? Health is a basic right. A prolonged strike means avoidable death and suffering. Youth leaders can mobilize support, offer aid, and demand accountability. Right, that is on the Taifa Leo on page 4. Tukiwa kwenye gazeti la Taifa Leo, they are also focusing on this student. Wanasema aliyezoa taka ajiunga na Alliance High. John Mwalili ajiunga na shule ya ndoto yake baada ya Taifa Leo kuangazia masaibu yake. That is another case that has been happening. We've seen many students, they have past years but they don't have the money to go to school. They don't have the support to join the grade 10, the senior secondary schools. I don't know what is your view on that.
Okay, my view on that is that remember, you know, the way we hear that university kids are given, I don't know, 60,000 per month or per what, you know. Why? Because if you look, most of those university students, they use that money to go to clubs, to go to the, you know, instead of paying fees. So instead of doing that, pay for those children who are in secondary school and primary school. So because those are big people.
They lead the example like the Kihara constituency. They just be paying 500 Kenya shillings. You know, that parent doesn't have much to do, just looking for 500, and then at the end they're giving chapatis.
But remember, if they pay 500 per month, we remember we have teachers. We have private schools, we have public school. If they say they pay 500 shillings, what about those teachers? Are they gonna be paid?
It means then the Nyoro is working on them. When he came up with that decision, it means he had been prepared himself.
Higher, it's okay. But remember, as doctors, right? If you remember on Taifa Leo, doctors were complaining they have not been paid, right?
Sure.
Do you need to tell us that if the doctors were not paid, the teachers are gonna be paid?
That is upon the building of the Kiharu constituency. He came up with that decision.
Government alliance.
Yeah. And it is also focused on the standard on page 9. They're saying 930,000 learners joined senior schools. Yeah. Ministry says the deadline for reporting to school lapsed yesterday. They had been added the date to join the schools, and now the deadline lapsed yesterday, and a team has been deployed to track learners who have not reported yet. And actually, I saw that report. Some of the chiefs are walking around to look for those children who have not yet joined, so that they can be offered help. They are ensuring that each and every student have joined, and that is a good move. That is a good move when we see chiefs moving around and looking for those students who have not yet joined. So that and much more is on page 9 on the standard on your side. And remember, we had asked you a question concerning the cabinet secretary or the Ministry of Interior. Why are police officers shooting recklessly, and why are they having anger issues? Why are they shooting recklessly, and why are they having the anger issues? And just to view some of your comments on Facebook, we said Kings TV, YouTube Kings Fraternity, and TikTok Kings TV _13, because we've seen many people are losing their lives, and the people whom we thought they are protecting us are the people who are killing us. So I can see the Finn Griffins and some killer faces. They are killer faces. Bernard Wakungu says si hawa ni wakale tu. Samson Moy is saying very incompetent since independence. Alright. Victor Kalova says, or Kulova says police ni laana tupu, helikuwa na kujemba takataka na familia yako iwe na amani, lakini huyo jamaa alifanya hicho kitendo kwake, atajua hajui, tochi imulike na familia yao wakiona. But you know, the CCTV is really showing that those police officers, they shot them. But to be amazed or to be shocked, the government won't do nothing. Yeah. You remember the case of the mask vendor? Up to now, we've never heard of what went. If the family got the justice, you know, that is the problem with our government. Bonibaya says shida ni kwamba polisi anapofanya upumbavu kama huo hafuatwi na hapelekwi mahakamani, lakini wewe mwananchi unapompiga polisi unapelekwa mahakamani ukiwa umepigwa vibaya. And that's true.
True, very true.
Hawa watu ni wakufutwa na kufungwa, huu pumbavu wataacha. Thank you. Bram Lucky says shida ni ile hakuna siku tumesikia eti polisi kahukumiwa kwa kumtulumu mwananchi. Sasa ni ile kiburi eti sisi kama polisi atatufanya nini, sisi ni polisi, and they think they are right. Alright. Kipopo is saying jana polisi wamenikamata Mlolongo usiku bila kosa, ila hawajavaa sare za polisi, wakaitisha kakitu, sijui ni wahalifu ama ni nini. Thank you. Mwendo Dennis is saying wanaleta hasira ya kutolipwa kwa wananchi. Nicholas is saying ni juu wamesota. They are not being paid.
Okay. On my side, we have Ashley Mohaki. She's saying that sometimes it's anger issues. We have Blaze anasema ati ameongea Kiswahili ati atakama ni kusota, these people are heartless and sometimes they are paid. That's why the government cannot take them to cell. Na by the hiyo ni ukweli, because Oziniambia we are complaining people are being shot, people are being killed, yet the government hawafanyi kitu yoyote. Yeah, so we have even Frankly Khalif anasema that the best thing is just to avoid trauma.
Alright. And lastly, Daniel Wafula is saying wengi wao ni mikosi za manyumbani mwao wanaamua kumalizia wa Kenya. Thank you so much for your views. I think we are reaching the end of our show. Maybe your last opinion as you went down.
My last opinion is that for us is let the government be fair, pay the doctors because we need them, for the students, pay for them school fees, so that we need those students, we have presidents, we have doctors, we have lawyers, so let all of them go to school.
Absolutely. Yeah. You are watching your favorite show, Morning Zoo. Thank you so much. Till next time, My name is Pius Kaluki.
And my good name is Hortensia Mbeta.
Have a self-publicity.